Hello everybody, I'm the Broken Gamer and welcome to a visual novel called My Lady. Now, I'm going to be doing a couple of these visual novels, so yeah, let's get started, shall we? Before you can begin the story, please tell me your name and the name of your butt. Okay. I will be called Broken. And my butler's name, I will call him James. Anyways, let's get started. So you are Broken and your butler is James. Yes. Now please know that this story was made in Renpai, the visual novel engine, with music composed by Christopher Escalante and voiceover by Bradley Garth, Hayden DeHue, sorry if I messed up that name, and Jonah Scott. Okay. We sincerely hope you enjoy this short story. Life's not fair, is it?
I'm not sure what you mean, ma'am.
It just isn't. I have riches, power, and practically everything I could possibly want, but I don't at the same time.
You're getting you're being silly, ma'am.
This was my life, whether I liked it or not. I was the heiress to a rich family. Splendid, no? To many women, this would have been a dream come true, the perfect way to spend my life. However, it wasn't as loving as one would think. Sophie, I'm being serious.
Of course you are, I'm not saying you aren't.
By the way, do you like my British accent? I wasn't even trying to do it, it just came out. But you said I was being silly.
But I never said not serious, ma'am, did I?
You...
Aha! See, ma'am, I know you're serious. You're just being silly.
How does that make sense? Being serious and silly at the same time? How does that make sense? I don't know. There you go again. Sophie was my personal mate, and despite her jokes, she was one of my best friends. She has been there with me ever since I was a child, and has cared for me like a sister ever since. Sophie has gotten me out of trouble so many times even when I was at fault. It's a surprise that she deals with me. Gosh, I can't read.
Now, ma'am, don't get fussy. I was only fooling.
Still, I am right, you know. Life isn't fair.
Life is never fair, ma'am. It gives you lemons when you want to make orange juice. That's how the saying goes, right?
No. At least not the way I've heard it here in America. It's when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, Sophie.
But what if I want orange juice?
Then I guess you're out of luck, Sophie. That's exactly what I mean. It's not fair.
Oh, ma'am, you're not talking about him again, are you?
Of course I was. He was all I could think about. All I could talk about. James, my personal butler. James was charming, handsome, sophisticated, and sweet. He was practically everything I dreamed of in a man. Yet, despite him always being in arm's reach, he was as far away as could be. He was devoted to being the perfect servant, even if it meant disobeying my romantic requests. What kind of romantic requests are you making? I let out a sigh and looked at Sophie helplessly. I'm hungry, Sophie.
Oh no, ma'am, those puppy eyes won't work on me. I already got you an extra tray of biscuit cookies for your morning tea.
But Sophie...
None of that now, no whining.
Sophie...
Fine. I'll make you some fruit sandwiches and tea.
Yay! Thank you.
Honestly, I spoil you.
You love me.
Yes, ma'am, I love you. I'll be right back.
Sophie left me alone in my room, giving me time to think about James while I sat at my study desk. But I can't read today, apparently. He was barely 3 years older than I was, yet he acted like a proper gentleman. The way he smiled practically made my legs weak. His voice made my heart sing in long, blissful arias of affection. I was in love with my butler, and I didn't care. The only problem was that he couldn't love me back. James was so invested in becoming the perfect servant that he denied any romantic gesture I threw his way. The mere thought of the last failure made me slump in my chair. Life's not fair. Suddenly there was a knock at my door.
Your butler, miss. May I come in?
My heart stopped. It was him, James. I felt pure elation bubble in my chest. Come in, please. The door opened to reveal James standing at full attention with a tray covered in letters in his hand. He took a step into the room, closed the door behind him, and walked to the front of my desk.
My deepest apologies for the interruption, my lady, but I have some letters addressed to you. I came as quick as I received them.
Oh, thank you. James gently placed the tray on my desk in front of me, revealing 3 letters. One had my family seal, one was pink and practically reeked of flowers, and the last letter was a plain envelope. Let's go with the pink one first. I held my breath and opened the letter with my letter opener, taking out the letter parchment and reading the contents of the note. My dear Broken, my name is Isaac Newport. I know that you do not know me, but I hope to know more about you soon. I am currently in town this weekend and would like to request your presence for tea. Please write back soon, Isaac. Well, that's actually a very polite letter. Another damn suitor.
A suitor? I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the Newport family.
Did I care? I wasn't interested in courting, especially with a man I didn't even know. Besides, the man I wanted to court was in the room with me, and that had already proved to be a difficult challenge as it is. I sighed and placed my hands in the middle of the note, ready to tear it in two, however Jane stopped me.
Miss, I would suggest holding on to that note.
Huh? Why? I'm going to turn him down.
Still, if he were to visit, you'll have proof and knowledge of who he is rather than forget in the future.
I sighed and placed the note in one of my drawers to obviously be forgotten about later. I opened the letter gently with my letter opener, taking out the letter parchment and reading its contents. Dear Birkin, I will be returning home today from my business trip. Please make sure to clean yourself and dress properly for my arrival. We have much to discuss. Your mother. Oh, dear Lord.
Your mother is returning. That's wonderful news.
Yes, absolutely wonderful. My mother had been on a long business trip that lasted almost 2 weeks. Most likely she would be staying for a couple of days, then she would be off for another business trip that needed her attention. This was the norm for my mother, being that she single-handedly owned the estate. I had to admit it was lonely without her. However, whenever she was around, it was stressful. Oh, I'll bet. Well, being in high society, I would suspect that owning an estate and all that business stuff alone would be stressful. Yet, having a child with that would be even more stressful. So, but I figure it kind of would be less stressful once, like, your child was grown up and able to be on her own. Back to the story though. She demanded perfection and... I can't read. She demanded perfection out of me beyond anything, hoping that eventually I would become a perfect, proper young woman. Okay. That makes sense. No one can be perfect. Everyone has their flaws. No one's 100% perfect. And it kind of sounds like that's what she's hoping her daughter would be, is 100% perfect. But no one's going to be that way, so yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense why that would be stressful. I had just turned 17. She was perfect when she turned the age of 13. Oh, jeez. I apparently had a long way to go. Yeah. Yes, wonderful. Yay. Yeah, just opened it, read it. The lady exits the pumpkin carriage, queen to bishop. Okay. What? We're talking about fairy tales and chess? Because this is from Cinderella. And this part's like chess. What? Kay? What kind of joke was this? Who was Kay? And what was Kay getting at?
A riddle, perhaps?
A riddle? For what? This must be a mistake. Who said this? I looked to the envelope for any indication of a sender. The only thing I could find on the envelope, besides for my address and name, was a giant K wax seal on the corner. What? Odd. That is odd. I sighed and slumped in my chair. My mother returning, I can't read. My mother's returning. I have another downstairs, and this letter riddle makes absolutely no sense. Today is starting off just marvelously.
Is there anything I could do to make you happy, my lady?
Kiss me? Oh, I kinda want to say that, but I'll just say no, thank you. Because he's rejected every romantic gesture she sent him, so I would doubt that he would do this one. So we'll just go with no, thank you. No, thank you. I stood and walked around my desk, wanting some fresh air. Tell Sophie that. Whoa! I suddenly felt myself fall, my foot slipping out from underneath me. Quickly I grabbed for something and tried to maintain my balance. Oh, jeez. That's a picture. What I didn't realize was that I grabbed Jason and pulled him on top of me. Oh. Well, that would be embarrassing. It probably hurts that moment. I find that funny. Don't ask me why. It's because I know someone's probably gonna walk in. while we're like that. Ow.
My lady, are you all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I bit my lip. This was exactly what I wanted, but it was purely accidental. I was sure he would think that this was planned. Are you okay, James? I shouldn't have grabbed you.
I am, thank you.
That's good. At least he's not hurt. That's the important thing. To my surprise, he was blushing a little bit. I stared in shock. Was he as embarrassed as I was? I think so. Oh no. The door opened again, forcing James and me to look up towards it in shock. Oh, someone walked in. I called it.
Ma'am, I brought you... oh
Sophie.
my.
Oh, Sophie. Oh, whoops. My
Ma'am, I
bad.
brought you...
This isn't what it looks like. This isn't what it looks like. Oh, I knew someone was going to walk in. I blushed deep red. To have him on top of me was one thing. To have Sophie see it was another. I'll bet. James quickly stood up and helped me up, gently brushing both of us off as Sophie bit her lip with a grin. No.
No worries, ma'am. I didn't say anything, I swear.
Sophie, why say that? Nothing happened. Me and Sophie are both just laughing. I glared at Sophie knowing she was stifling laughter. I looked to James after sighing. I was shocked to see him blushing as much as I was. I stared as he closed his eyes and tried to take deep breaths. Was he flustered? I looked at Sophie, who looked like she was ready to explode from laughter while holding my sandwiches and tea. Oh, jeez.
Well, if you both will excuse me, I need to prepare lunch for Lady Beaumont's arrival.
James bowed to me quickly before exiting the room, closing the door behind him. As the sound of his footsteps disappeared, Sophie burst into laughter. I could tell that she was holding that one in.
What happened while I was away? Were you trying to seduce him again, ma'am?
Oh, Sophie. Really? What? Sophie?
That was hilarious, ma'am.
To be honest, watching it is hilarious, but actually having that happen would be embarrassing. I glared at her once again, making her stop and bring her laughter to a soft chuckle.
So, ma'am, I brought some sweet sandwiches and tea for you. Strawberries with a fresh hazelnut spread.
I've actually had that before. It's not bad. It's just really, really sweet. Like, the sweetness from the strawberries and the hazelnut spread are really, really sweet. So, if you like sweet things, that would be good for you. Oh, well, thank you.
My pleasure, ma'am.
I sat back down at my desk and watched Sophie place the plate of tea and sandwiches in front of me. Over the tray James brought me.
Any fancy mail today, ma'am?
Well, we'll tell her about... Should we discuss all of them or just a couple? Yeah, might as well do all of them. I received the strangest letter today.
Oh, what's up, ma'am?
It's like a riddle of some sort. The lady exits the pumpkin carriage?
A pumpkin carriage? Like in that Cinderella fairy tale?
I assume so. Then it says Queen to Bishop.
First fairy tales, now chess? What is this loony thinking?
I shook my head, unsure of how to answer. I didn't know myself, and the letter was indeed odd, and if Sophie and James couldn't figure out, there was no way I was going to.
But that doesn't make a lick of sense if you ask me. Are you sure it wasn't the wrong address?
I took the envelope to check once again. It didn't magically change, and it was still addressed to me. No, it was indeed addressed to me.
That's very strange, ma'am. Anything else?
Mother. Well, my mother's coming home today.
So I heard! The kitchen hands are going crazy at the news.
They already know?
Of course! Abby practically memorizes your mother's schedules, that strange kitchen woman.
That is true.
Anything else?
She's a strange kitchen lady. To memorize the lady of the house's schedules. I have a new suitor.
Ooh, a new suitor! What's his name? What's his name?
Isaac Newport.
Newport? As in Newport Law Affairs?
You've heard of Newport?
You're damn right I have. They're a new lawyer family coming up from out of nowhere. Only the peasantry like me know about them, though. They specialise in helping poor families with houses and such.
Is that so? That was very interesting. The Newport family was a new family to look forward to gossip about at parties and events. Hopefully there would be enough talk about them to ignore me. I wasn't a fan of the parties of the rich families around me hosted. I probably read that completely wrong, so I'm sorry.
Anything else?
No, that's about it. I talked about everything. I sat and enjoyed my snack. The tea was almost perfect and the sandwiches were very sweet. They are very, very sweet. But I appreciated Sophie's work. Despite it being a menial task, she did it with love. Oh.
So, Mum, what are you going to wear for your mother when she arrives?
Yes, I have to pick out a dress, don't I? I sat in silence for a minute, contemplating on what to wear. I had many outfits, but I wasn't about to put on a fashion display for my mother. Stopping my snack, I looked at Sophie and thought, what dresses would you do you suggest?
Well, you could always wear the white one your mother bought from France. Then there's also the red one from Spain. That one looks good on you.
Red or white? It was a simple choice, but almost felt like laughing at the choice itself. Something about it was hilarious to me, but I couldn't put my finger why. I finally made my mind and said, let's go with the red dress.
Ooh, very fun, ma'am. Won't your mother disapprove, though? She hates it when you wear red.
Next time we'll wear the red one, but let's just go with white. As we don't want to disappoint Mother Lady Beaumont. Sophie nodded and got out my white dress from the closet.
Let's get you cleaned up, ma'am. Then we'll get this dress on you.
Okay. Getting into dresses was a tiring process. First, I had to clean myself using an unnecessarily large bath to washing. Then I had to be dried, which required both me and Sophie to do it in a reasonable amount of time. Okay. After that, I had to powder and put on my underclothes, which included a corset. Oh, jeez. Oh! Sophie, you're trying to kill me!
Just a little more, ma'am. Your mother would kill us both if we don't do this right.
I hear corsets are a pain in the butt. I am never wearing one, ever. Someone will have to kill me to get me into a corset, because isn't that where you have to pull the... Yeah, because from judging what just happened, you have to pull the strings to make you look skinnier? And it's just like, nope. If I can't fit into a dress, just get a bigger size. course it's wear paint. I bet they are. Then we finally got the dress on. It was easy to slip on, only took Sophie a minute to tie it up to fit me perfectly. Jeez, I can't read today. What's wrong with me? I stood in front of my large vending mirror checking out my dress. I smiled at my choice. It was a lovely dress with lace and ribbons, and I dared to think I looked like an angel in it. Sophie quickly found a white ribbon and tied it in my hair. It's not bad. I just don't like the bows on the front, near the collar, and along the waist. That if it didn't have those, it would look much better. But I don't really care for that.
You look so lovely, ma'am. I'm jealous.
Thank you, Sophie. You're the best. Sophie smiled and bowed to me graciously. I turned back to the mirror and stared at myself a little longer, wondering what James would think. It wasn't sexy, but it was still elegant and mature. The sound of horses made me quickly look away.
Who's that?
Oh,
I don't recognize the carriage.
I didn't finish that. Look away from the mirror and look out my window. I rushed over and looked to see a large carriage stopping in front of the house.
Who's that? I don't recognize the carriage.
I don't either. I stared at the carriage a little while longer, unable to tear my eyes away. Who was visiting us? And today of all days. The door of the carriage opened and out stepped a handsome man looking to be around my age. He was dressed in a casual suit with brushed hair and an anxious smile. As per his protocol, James stepped out of the mansion and greeted him. They spoke to each other briefly before James escorted him inside. What did this man want?
Ma'am, could it be the Newport son who sent you that letter?
Huh? Isaac? Why would it be him? Why would he even come?
He's come to court you! Oh my, this is exciting!
I quickly looked back to the carriage, trying to place out logic together. Did he wish to meet with me? But why come to my home? Was he that desperate? Must be. I sighed and exited the room with Sophie close behind. I felt an obligation to meet him. Creep into my gut, so I followed it all the way to the main lobby. I stepped into the lobby to see the man and James conversing to one another. At the sound of my footsteps, however, they stopped and looked at me. James seemed surprised at my outfit. Did he like it? I looked at him and gently tilted my head in confusion. James quickly shook his head and cleared his throat. Sophie stifled another giggle. Jeez. She's got that in her head now, isn't she?
Mr. Newport, may I introduce the current lady of the house, Miss Beaumont.
As I was introduced, I climbed down the stairs of the grand staircase. I reached the bottom and walked over to the two men, where the two men were awaiting me, with Sophie 2 steps behind me.
Oh, wow. Allow me to say you look absolutely stunning, Miss Beaumont.
Thank you, Mr. Newport. I presume, according to my butler?
Yes, Isaac Newport. It's a pleasure to finally meet you at last.
Sorry about the coughing. He held out his hand, wanting me to place... He held out his hand, wanting me to place mine in it. I can't read. Why? Brain, wake up and work. Did I want to? My mother wasn't around, so I necessarily didn't have to be polite to that extent. We'll be polite anyway. You flatter me, thank you. I placed my hand in Isaac's and watched him smile gently before bringing my hand to his lips and brushing his lips over my knuckles. A gulp barely caught my attention, causing my eyes to quickly look over and see James staring at my hand intently. What was he gulping for?
Oh, well, I was in town and I was passing by your estate.
Sorry. Might I ask why you are here?
Oh, well, I was in town and I was passing by your estate, so I decided to come by and possibly meet you. Obviously, it was a good choice.
I see. Well, I'm afraid I usually deal with scheduled meetings, so I'm not sure that I can entertain you.
Oh, no, I wasn't insinuating anything of the sort. I merely wished to stop by and meet you, that's all.
Ah, I understand. Well, since you did stop by, allow me to offer you some tea. I look over my shoulder to Sophie, who quickly nodded and stepped forward ahead of me towards Isaac.
Would you follow me to the drawing room, please? I'll prepare some tea and bring it as soon as it's ready.
Thank you so much.
I bit my tongue. Sophie was definitely a great actress around guests. Sophie and Isaac walked away towards the drawing room, leaving James and me alone. I let out a sigh.
Is something troubling you, my lady?
No, I'm just surprised, is all. James nodded, standing at the ready for any instruction I had. I looked in the direction of the drawing room and bit my lip. I didn't want to sit there with him, especially if Mother was coming home today. Who knows what she would think?
My lady, if I may speak my mind.
I turned to look at James. Oh, go ahead.
You look absolutely stunning in that dress.
Aww. I stared, suddenly turning red in the face at his compliment. He thought I looked stunning? I looked at the ground, unable to reply back. James cleared his throat and stood back at attention, awaiting for me to either give him orders or leave. Just my luck, however. Oh, that's Mother, isn't it? Oh, I didn't read that. Whoops. I turned my head to the front door, hearing another set of horses. James, please go. Please check who has arrived.
Yes, my lady.
James quickly walked over and opened the door to see outside.
Your mother has returned.
Oh, joy. I felt my heart stop. Was my luck just terrible today? Apparently so. James quickly exited the front doors to assist my mother out in the carriage. I stood knowing that my mother would want me to be in the lobby waiting for her. I felt frozen, unsure of how to explain the second carriage to my mother, who, very quickly on her way inside. It was a suitor, but I didn't want her to get the wrong idea. At last, my mother stepped inside the lobby, James carrying her bags almost effortlessly behind her.
Ah, there you are. Punctual as expected.
My mother quickly stepped up to me, looking me up and down. I waited to see how she would respond. I wore white instead of red. Surely she would be happy. Surely.
No mistakes or loose flaps of cloth. Good.
Yay! She approves. I smiled at my mother. I did appreciate when I made her proud enough not to lecture me. Yes, that is a proud moment.
Now, can you explain to me why there's another carriage in the front?
I had to be calm. She had to understand that I was not interested in a suitor, nor did I invite him. Isaac Newport wanted to visit today, Mother. He was in town and decided to stop by.
And where is he?
In the drawing room, Mother.
I have no time for guests. I have much to do, and I won't have you entertaining guests without me.
My mother turned her head to James.
Escort him out.
Yes, madam.
James gently placed my mother's luggage down, away from the door, and quickly left for the drawing room.
Now, have you been keeping up with your studies?
Yes, Mother.
Have you been practicing the piano?
Yes, Mother.
Perfecting your handwriting?
Yes, Mother.
Good. Then we can discuss.
As she was about to finish her statement, Isaac and James walked into the lobby, walking towards the exit. Isaac stopped and bowed to my mother.
Oh, hello, Lady Beaumont. It is a pleasure to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet you too, Mr. Newport. I'm afraid we have some business to attend to, so we cannot entertain you today. Feel free to stop by tomorrow.
I understand perfectly, ma'am. Please, have a good day.
Mr. Newport, Isaac is actually very polite. And I can see him being a good man, so he is a good catch. So, all in all, I could like him. He's a pretty polite gentleman, so... But we're in love with our butler, and that's what we have to focus on. Isaac bowed to my mother before smiling at me.
And a good day to you too, Miss Beaumont.
With that, he left and exited the mansion, with James closing the door behind him.
Mr. Newport, you say?
Yes, Mother.
He looked to be your age. Was he a suitor?
Should I tell her yes or no? We'll tell her the truth because I don't think it'd be a good thing to lie to her. I couldn't lie to her. She knew how to see through lies. My mother stared at me in thought before walking past me towards the drawing room. I sighed and followed suit. We entered the drawing room where Sophie was cleaning the tea Isaac was previously having.
Leave the tea. Bring new cups.
Yes, madame.
Sophie quickly left the room with the used cup Isaac had, leaving me and my mother alone. My mother sat down, waiting for me to sit across from her in the empty seat. I quickly obeyed her silent command to do so, looking to her and sitting up as properly as I could.
How old are you now?
17, Mother.
17 and still unmarried. What am I to do with you?
I kind of hate that when people force people into marriages. I mean, in a way, I suppose you can learn to love, but it's like, if you marry, it should be because you love someone very deeply and that they feel the same way for you, not as something that can be forced upon other people. And that's the kind of people I hate, who just force it on people. That's not how marriage is supposed to be. At least not in my opinion, anyways. I bit my tongue. I knew better than to speak back to my mother when she talked like that. She had been hoping one day I would marry, but it was becoming futile.
Anyways, I will be staying here for a couple of days to deal with some in-town business. I expect you to entertain Mr. Newport properly should he return. This goes for any suitor, understand?
Yes, Mother.
The dinner schedules will be upheld as I am here. If you are not at dinner during the scheduled time, you will not eat. Understand?
Oh, God. Yes, Mother.
Good.
I hate her. Her dress is fine, but I hate her. My mother was strict, but for good reason. She wanted me to be a perfect lady, suitable for marriage and upholding a family. If I was a toe out of line, I would be lectured until I regretted ever disobeying. Oh, geez, one of those really, really strict people. I don't like those kind of people. The mother annoys me beyond reason. I mean, in ways I can see how she would be that way, but in other ways it's like, no. We drank tea and rarely spoke to each other before I was dismissed to go back to my room. I quickly stood, bowed, and left. Sophie followed behind, 2 steps from me. As I entered my room, I slumped and let out a tired sigh. Some others here, wonderful.
Oh, come now, ma'am, you should be happy!
How can you be happy with someone that strict around you all the time? I walked to my bed, sat down, feeling exhaustion take over my body like a gust of wind. I thought of the suitor. He was polite, but was he really? He seemed young and bright, and it seemed like a good idea to try to be with him. It would indeed make my mother happy. On the other hand, we love James. That's all there is to it. We are in love with our butler. That's all there is to it. I still like James. He kept me enthralled in his spell, and I don't know how to proceed with him. Mother would never approve, but I couldn't deny my feelings so easily. I looked out my window. Life's not fair, is it?
You keep saying that, miss! If you keep looking at it like that, you'll never get oranges!
But what can I do? My eyes traveled down, wanting to land on my lap. However, my gaze stopped at an envelope stuck in the window. What the? Huh? What is this? I stood up and walked to the window, taking out the envelope, opening it and reading it aloud. I read that wrong, I know I did. The girl puts on the red hood. Bishop to King. K. Again, another riddle. What's going on?
A riddle? The glass slipper bit talks about Little Red Riding Hood, but the second part talks about chess again.
What? I don't think there was a red... There was no glass slipper in the Red Riding Hood part. What? This makes no sense.
Ooh, maybe it's a sign! Someone's telling you to,
I don't think so, Sophie. Was I sure, though? This note was, and the last were connected somehow, but I didn't want to blindly follow their messages. I guess I'll wait for another one. If another one appears, I'll try and sort this out. Something in my gut was telling me that these messengers were meant to tell me what to do. Were they about Isaac? Or were they about James? I felt tired just thinking about it. I gently fell back on my bed, not caring if my dress was still on, and let my eyes close naturally.
Ma'am, shouldn't you... Shh. Okay, Ma'am. Have a good rest.
I listened as Sophie left the room, leaving me alone. Kept my eyes shut, letting my exhaustion take hold of me and bring me into a world of sleep. I didn't mind that the corset was binding me, limiting my breath. I felt at peace resting in my bed. I didn't even open my eyes until hours later when the sun went down. Nah. I sat up, wincing at the squeeze my corset had on me. I looked around and realized how the stars in the night sky were out. I had missed dinner. Oh no! Ugh, I miss eating. What am I going to do? As I asked myself that question, I looked to my desk where a plate covered with a small tray cover sat. I stood, walked over, opening it to reveal a plate of food. Aw, Sophie! Thank you. I'll have to thank Sophie. I will have to thank her when she returns. Yes, we must say thank you to Sophie for bringing us dinner when we missed it. I smiled and was about to sit and eat, but something in the window caught my eye. Huh? I looked over and peered out the window to see James walking around the house from my window. James? It was odd for him to be outside this late, and let alone at all. He never really went outside unless someone needed to be escorted in. Why was he outside now? I quickly rushed to my dresser. Before I touched the knob, I stopped and stared at my hand. Wait, was this a good idea? Sneaking out late at night to see what my butler was doing? I bit my lip, remembering the note I received before I fell asleep. The girl puts on the red hood. Was this what the note was talking about? No, It was silly to believe, but it was almost frightening about how accurate the situation was about to go into. Now I wasn't sure. Should I follow? Yes. We must find out what our butler is up to. I nodded to myself. I wanted to know. I took the knob and opened the dresser and took out my night shawl, covering my shoulders with it. I closed the drawer and quickly snuck out of my room. It was quiet in the house, which both irked me and made me feel relieved. As long as I remained quiet, I'd not be found. I quickly tiptoed my way to the front door and stuck out in the direction James was heading. The gravel beneath my shoes crackled and scuffed, making me wince with each step. I didn't want him to find out I was following him and watching. Well, I didn't succeed. Oh,
My lady?
Yep, he caught us. I knew it. I froze, staring at the corner I was about to turn. How did he know it was me?
I know it's you. Come on out.
I peeked around the corner to see him carrying a lantern, staring in my direction. How did you know it was me?
I can recognize your perfume and powder, my lady.
Oh, right. There was no use in sneaking. I quickly walked over to him and looked up at his dimly lit face, unsure of what.
Were you followed?
Whoops. Sorry. I don't know why I keep doing that. Unsure of what to say now that I was caught.
Were you followed?
No, why? James looked behind me briefly before looking ahead of him, scanning the area with his eyes. After a small moment, he nodded and gently took my hand.
Come with me.
Okay, where are we going? I suddenly found myself being led to the forest surrounding the house by the man I had come to adore. I didn't know if it was a dream or reality anymore. Where are you taking me? Yes, that's something I would like to
Somewhere
know.
away from the mansion.
I felt my heart beat faster in anxiousness. What were we going to do away from the house? I felt like skipping, but I didn't want to destroy the moment that was happening between us. At last we stopped in the middle of the woods. We couldn't even see the mansion. Where are we? To my surprise, James turned to me and gently caressed my cheek, looking deep into my eyes.
Somewhere where I can finally show you my true feelings.
I stared at James in utter belief. His true feelings? What was he talking about? James gingerly ran his thumb over my cheek, gazing deep into my eyes.
I'm sorry. I can't hold in these feelings anymore. I am not fit to be your butler.
James, despite him not saying what he meant, I knew exactly what he was trying to say. I felt my heart leap around in joy. But why now?
Your mother plans to arrange a marriage between you and Mr. Newport tomorrow when he visits. I overheard her on the phone with his father after you left the drawing room.
Oh, Mother! No, why? What? My brother was going to marry me off without telling me? But why?
My lady. No. My love. You are a beautiful young woman. You deserve to have a husband. You deserve to be loved.
Aww. James. James looked down at his feet in shame.
I thought by now my feelings for you would have waned. But apparently not.
James gently looked up at me with pleading eyes.
I don't want you to be with him. But I can't ask you to betray your mother. Not after all the times I've denied your romantic orders.
Oh, James. I don't know what to say. I don't want to be with him. I want to be with him. Oh.
I don't want...
Okay. I don't want to be with him. I want to be with you. Yes. If I was in that situation, I really wouldn't know what to say at first, but I think this is what I would say in it. No, I couldn't. I wouldn't. I was in love with James, and not even my mother could change that.
Why waste your attention on me, though?
Because I love you so much, James. You've always been kind to me, and treated me so wonderfully. I guess I've always been in love with him. He knew which strings to pull even when he wasn't trying.
My silly lady.
Everybody calls me silly. Why? Gently, I could feel him tilt my head up, inviting the kiss I had dreamt to take from him. On its own, I could feel my shawl fall from my shoulders as our lips finally touched. Aww. Oh, that's sweet. I felt a parade of fireworks burst within my chest, making me feel giddy and joyful of his lips on mine. Okay. The one thing I desperately wanted from him I finally had and was never going to let it go. As we pulled away from each other, smiling at the new bond we had, James took both my hands and held them to his chest.
Run away with me.
I stared. What did he say? What?
Run away with me. I'm no longer fit to be a butler now, so I cannot return to that mansion. However, I want to be with you forever.
Oh, James. He continued to hold my hands, desperate not to let go, as he looked at me with hope.
Be with me. I can't give you a mansion or riches, but I promise to give you love for the rest of my days.
Oh, now that's the kind of relationship I want. I want someone who will love me and not care if I have a huge house or tons of money or a great looking body. I want someone to love me for who I am and who will love me that way for the rest of my life. That's all I want. But nowadays that seems to be a rarity. But at least we can get it in visual novels, which is a good thing, I kind of guess. I felt my heart begin to sing. To be with him for the rest of my life was all I wanted. Yes, I will go with you, James. James smiled wildly before hugging me tightly, letting me hug him back just as tightly. Okay. I wanted to be with him forever. I didn't want our statuses to separate us anymore. Finally, I had the chance to get my origins. Oh god. Ending. The girl marries her prince. Checkmate. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. I still want to see what happens with the red dress though, but I will make that a separate part so that I can start it right at that part. And yeah, so I'm gonna end this here because it's like probably around 55 minutes already, and well, with me having to go back after messing up some parts in the story and me going off on like little tiny rants, I can see why it would be that long. Oh no, this was a good story. I liked it. Anyways, I'm gonna end this one here, but there's gonna be one more on this. It's the root with the red dress, and I don't know what I'm gonna be recording after this, so I'll see you in whatever video I make next. So have a wonderful day, And remember to see your beautiful, unique, one-of-a-kind selves. Oh, and don't forget to either like or subscribe if you guys want to see more. You can also leave a comment down in the comment section if you want to see more. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of my videos and everything. I'd love to hear back from you. And I guess that's it. Bye.